and you wouldn't let that go to voicemail? Like, just go drop a 20 in the toilet and flush. Okay, because that's what you're just flushing money down the toilet. So like a tool like this for your, it's unbelievable. Now we've done the numbers with the number of clients. Some are leaving $80,000 a month on the table because they're not getting the phone, in just in off hours. Like, think about these numbers, your average job cost, how many calls come in, you don't answer, maybe they get someone else, whatever that is, right? You start thinking about those kind of things going, I need to figure this out, because that's like found money. Welcome to the Sharpen the Spear podcast, where we help home service pros cut through the noise, sharpen their business tools, and reclaim the profit, freedom, and impact they've been missing. I'm your host, Richard Walsh, Profit Freedom Coach, and I'm here to help you stop grinding and start growing. Let's sharpen the spear. And we are back on STS, Sharpen the Spear podcast. And I've got another incredible guest. I've got Joshua Hale with us today. And I'm not going to tell you the topics, because I don't ever tell you the topics, because then I steal his thunder. So Joshua, no one knows Joshua better than Joshua. Give us the backstory, roll out the thunder, and then we're going to get into the conversation.
Thanks, Richard. I'm really excited to be here. So I'm an AI consultant. That's the easiest, way to understand that I'm a geek for AI. Now, how I got into this, I was running a marketing agency when ChatGPT came out. And I remember that day clearly. I went into town to meet a fellow marketer for lunch. He showed me ChatGPT kind of under the table. I was like, have you seen this thing? Immediately enamored by it, right? Because he's like, you can write blog posts with it, man. And so I came home, signed up for it, and because I was in the marketing agency, I was in a unique position to be able to test this thing out on different industries and be able to see really the strengths and weaknesses early on. I experienced that freak out moment of, oh, I'm probably not going to be lasting long in the marketing world because of this new technology. So I immediately saw how disruptive it was going to be and how, this whole world was going to need to adapt to this technology. Now, we just onboarded a big new client for the marketing agency, and I had 3 copywriters go do the initial audience research for that company. They did a really good job. They interviewed people, and they took about 3 weeks, came back, presented what they found to the client. And during the meeting, I did my own audience research on the side and showed one of them afterwards. And they were floored. They're like, yeah, we just spent 3 weeks, coming up with these answers. That's pretty good. And so I saw, my path being very limited, working 60 hours a week, running a marketing agency, herding, 8 contractors around like cats. And I jumped ship from that in order to coach people one-on-one with ChatGPT, to be able to create educational content so people could understand like what's coming, how fast this is going to progress, and be able to empower yourself with these technologies instead of be afraid of it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, that is, for me, it was the same thing. Like, yeah, I knew chat. I had some friends using it, didn't look at it, didn't care. I'm a writer. I read my own stuff, and all that. So I wrote a book and then whatever. And then all of a sudden I did it. I got into it. Okay. And I was like, oh, this is like you. Look what you're doing in, quite literally seconds compared to minutes, hours, and all that, and it's a lot better what I can do and make things more concise. I could come up with the same result. It's just would take me like your guys 3 weeks, right? That was my little epiphany moment. I'm like, okay. And like you, I saw like, this will change everything. Because this is nothing. They're like giving this to me. Like, yeah. This is the free part. Can you imagine like what they're holding behind, I'm like, oh my gosh, what's out there? Like, so it's really, really cool. And again, as I started developing too, I'm like, well, how can I apply that? And I started seeing all the applications. And that's what we're going to talk about a bit, because I think we're still in the early adoptive stage, right? And I don't think people are able to conceptualize the possibilities for every business. Because, everyone's special. Just ask them. Their business is special. Okay. Well, we're going to dispel that myth too, right? Let's do some of that now.
Yeah, I offer a 21-day challenge because you really need to just see what this thing can do in your life to be able to understand like how groundbreaking, we're describing it right now. Because everything from helping with recipes in the kitchen to helping schedule, your calendar so that you can actually use it, to help with the inbox that all of us are overwhelmed with, to helping with marketing, helping with, brainstorming. And never before has the distance between idea and getting your idea into the marketplace been as short as it is now, because AI is, helping everybody. What I like to coach people to do: find your purpose, find what you love to do and you can't turn it off, and then figure out how to make money doing it. And that is now able to be monetized a lot quicker than 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You start walking the path of becoming an entrepreneur, and there are so many map sections that are unknown to you, right? Everything from accounting, bookkeeping, how to run a team, all these things that like you have to just stumble your way through as how it used to be in order to get a well running business. ChatGPT can now like let you know about the terrain, be able to show you steps of how to like get started. And now, it keeps upgrading and getting better and better. ChatGPT 5 just came out today. And so it's now basically having a PhD level, expert in your pocket that you can talk to about anything.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just before our recording, I've written all these articles, right? I've written emails, I've got all this stuff, just so much content over the years. I'm like, okay, I got a new project. I'm plugging one in. I'm going, here, make this social post. Like, give me like just, round the edges on this, fix this up. So it's second. You're like, okay, yeah, see, and it spaces it. I'm like, this is the brilliance. Like it takes, and I'm pretty good at writing, but take that and it makes it even clearer. It's an editor. That's what it is. They like edit. Like I had a great editor for my book. She did an awesome job, really did little things that made a huge difference. And this is the same thing, but I'm like, okay, I got a little exercise every day. Every day another one goes in. And I post it because I'm like, again, you could maybe do it. I haven't done it, right? Because it's too much work. It's just, I can't do it. And this stuff pops it out. So there's so many applications, but that's one of those things too, because I guess in reality, Joshua, is I kind of lovingly call it the giant plagiarism machine. Okay. It's taking everything that's out there and it's using and giving it to you. It's like, okay, that's cool. It's way better than Cliff Notes back in the day, right? So we've got this whole thing. So it's just really great. And again, when people start to grasp onto this, and like you said, a lot of the multiple uses, recipes. I mean, you can now get cheaper plane tickets. You can find the cheapest through this thing. I mean, there's just prompts and there's a lot to it. But I mean, it's really fun, and I'm super excited for my clients rolling this into their business and watching, not just giving them time back and stuff like that, but we're literally capturing all this lost money just down from simple phone calls, missed phone calls, things like that. Like we have AI agents doing this work, and they're so much better than people. People don't get bummed out. I'm just telling you. They never have a bad day.
We're in the age of information, right? Yeah. And it's only getting more and more intense. I think I saw like in 2022, like 70% of mankind's information was created that year, right? Like we're entering in this field of more information generating each year now. And so our human minds are not designed to be able to keep up with all these notifications, all these emails, all these things happening from so many different angles that we really needed some help for a long time now. I don't know who in your audience actually has, inbox zero. I do, by the way, but I use AI a lot.
That's because you don't have any friends. That's why.
But honestly, like we needed help. And this is where AI is able to come in. I like to teach people the 10-80-10 framework, right? To really just understand how to properly use this thing, because a lot of people get a bad taste when they realize like, oh, you wrote that with AI, like immediately the value goes down for some reason.
Right.
But if you use it, properly, 10% is your initial idea, the spark, the creation, what it is that you want to make. Now like 70-80% is now the power of AI, where it can just like do all this work in a matter of minutes. And then you always want to have a follow-up 10%, 20% of putting the human touch, looking at what it came up with, shaping it into your own way of saying things. So you always want to be that person to touch it afterwards.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think people understand the getting to know you function. Again, Chan, like just stay in there for a while. Like you'll almost get freaked out. I mean, because I wanted to be my voice. I wanted to write and people go, that's Richard speaking. And it does that. Like I give it enough content, it reads my stuff because I write a certain way. It's a style, it's art. You know the artist, you know the hand of the artist, right? You see it. I know a Kandinsky when I see it. Okay. You know Monet when you see it, right? Well, this is, and the coolest thing I had a guy on and he had a great analogy. He said, well, when they had the steam engine, the steam created power. He goes, now this tool creates intelligence. And I went, dang, man, that's profound and kind of creepy. You know, I'm like, it's creating intelligence. Like, this is where a lot of people, I think, Josh, when you can speak to this, where they either think it's all going to be evil and take over the world, or they completely think this is nonsense. It can't do that. And like, well, you're both wrong. Okay. Anything can be used for good or evil, right? You just pick a side. That's all I say. I choose good. Okay. I'm going to use it for good and be ready to combat the evil with it. All right. That's how I look at it. But really that conversion into intelligence, not just gathering data. Okay. Is really unique. Like that is like, and I spoke to about this, about there's the internet. It came along. That was really cool. Okay. The internet was a really cool thing. And like, who can do without it now and everything else? This is the next massive leap. This is a leap that's like makes the internet looks like just child's play. Right.
Yeah. If I had it my way, I would have said, let's wait another 10 years. Let's get some more maturity for the human race. Let's, solve some of the problems that we're dealing with. But AI is here now, and if the genie's out of the bottle, we need to understand that this is progressively getting better every day. And within 3 years, this is going to radically change society, how we, interact with it. A lot of our time, right? Let's be real, is spent online now. 4, 6, 8 hours for some people, and soon keyboards and mouse are going to be a thing of the past. The young kids coming in are never going to touch those things and even know like what they're used for. How we interact online is rapidly changing, and sure, the Terminator case. Right now, the large language models, they're not Terminator. What they really are is just a word predictor. When you type out something on your keyboard on your phone, it predicts that next word of like what it thinks you're trying to say. That's basically what these large language models are. They found out, this is a funny story. 2016, I was downtown meeting a client in one of the sky rises, and they had 2 designers at the meeting. During break, they were over in the corner cracking up. And I came over there. I'm like, what's so funny, guys? And they said, just look. And they showed me their phone, and they were watching 2 chatbots talk to each other. And it was incoherent nonsense. And they were so giddy. And I'm like, what are you guys like? Why would you spend time watching this? This is the dumbest thing ever. Little did I know, those were early chatbots being worked on. And what they found out was the more data that they threw at them to train on, the more coherent that they became. And all of a sudden, they scooped up the whole internet and gave it to this model. And then all of a sudden, it started making sense. So that's when they found out that, this thing is going to be extremely valuable for the future. right now, it's not Terminator. You say something, it says something back. It's going to possibly invent Terminator in the future. But right now, it's an extremely empowering tool, especially for, entrepreneurs. I want to see more small businesses in the future. I don't want to shop at Walmart for everything. So being able to empower people to find what they're passionate about, find ways to monetize it, put their goodwill out there and get those ideas to market the fastest way possible. This is an incredibly powerful tool for people, with good values to be able to take care of their families.
Yeah, I think I've talked about this before too, but I want to remind people when you have tools like this, and for a lot of trades guys, like I said, construction guys, your business, whatever that business is, honestly, the earlier you can use this is a playing field leveler. Okay. You can be a significantly small business and compete on a very large level with this tool alone. And if you don't begin to use it now, the ones who do, like the people I'm working with, are going to be so far ahead of you that you will never catch up. And you'll be eating the crumbs from their table that I helped them create. Because that's all that's going to be left for you because you didn't get in early enough. You didn't see the complete uses of this. And what I found too, Josh, was as soon as they start using it, the next thing appears, the next use for it, like anything, right? Until you get your hands dirty, you don't know its potential. You can think you know the potential, but as soon as you get your hands dirty with it and start going, I mean, here's an example, old school WD-40. WD-40, everyone's like, yeah, it's an oil. It's not an oil at all. It's water displacement. They were using it on rockets to try to keep the water, right? But now there's like, it was the 40th attempt. That's why it's WD-40. It was the 40th attempt trying to get this thing to work. Now you take that same thing and it's got about 100 uses. You can clean stainless steel with it. You can do everything. Yes, it'll kind of lube something, right? But it's really not oil, but it's fascinating, right? Because they got their hands dirty. They started using it and get the next thing. I mean, whiteout was like that. Post-it notes, the glue in a Post-it note was all mistakes. Secretary started using it. Go, this is cool. I can stick it to stuff. And now it's an industry. Okay. I have them surrounded by them here on my desk. That's because I'm so technical.
This is the first tool too that man's invented that can teach you how to use it, right? It's got voice mode. You just need to start playing with it. And one of the most powerful things that you can add to your instructions is ask me 3 clarifying questions before I get started. Telling it to ask you the right questions to give it the context it needs to do a really good result. You add that to it and the results are mind-blowing because you don't know what questions to even ask, right? To this like half-formed idea that you are starting to formulate. And it is really good at just taking, the word vomit that you have to be able to give you clarity. I like to go on walks around my field. I'm on 10 acres out in the country and just turn on my voice recorder, just blab my whole brain out on it, and then send it, voice transcribe, send it to ChatGPT, tell it to clarify and, organize this information, and it will do so. And all of a sudden you have, $1 million ideas in there. You have ways to become more efficient. All this stuff is coming out of just what was on the surface of our minds.
Yeah. It's like I said, it's so awesome. And those prompts are what's key, right? You probably teach prompts. Like there's whole courses on like, how do you, like I learned one from a guy, he just said 2 words, roast this. So write your thing and let it do your email campaign, whatever, then put roast this. And I'm telling you, I'm like, oh, it's even more me. It like gets in going, yeah, well, of course you do this. Who doesn't? And it like tells you that. I go, see, it's like talking like it's me. I love it. It's like having this companion, it's like my, whatever. But I'm like, and then it really makes them good because I kind of think of it this way. Everything has a bias, right? It is created by humans. Okay. The reality is that. So to me, everything is inherently lazy. Okay. There's like
trying to conserve tokens. Yeah.
Right. Like it's going to do its thing and give you, okay, here you go. And if you're happy, great, good enough. Right. But I'm like, I'm not happy. Roast it. You know what I mean? Like go deeper, the deep research thing, that whole tab, like
Yeah.
just make it go, make it go, make it go. And people haven't even got to that yet. But when you start going down that, you're like, dang, this is so cool. You know,
Yeah.
you get stuff that just others don't have.
I subscribe to ChatGPT Pro, which is the $200 a month subscription, right? When I first saw that, I was like, I know how to make money with that. And when that deep research feature came out, I immediately started to replicate what McKinsey-style reports were doing for the last like 20, 30 years. I had to learn all this. McKinsey is like a business strategy think tank business. And for a starting price of $500,000, a business can work with them and they will create a business strategy looking at industry trends and your competitors and come up with a plan to help you with your business. No small business could ever afford that, right? It's like starting at $500,000. So what I've been doing for the last 2 months is doing the same research, using deep research, examining past industry trends, what's forecasting for the upcoming future, being able to look at your competitors and find weak spots, and creating a 50-page report for your business that rivals what McKinsey's been doing for the last 30 years. Now, their reports look a lot better. I'll give them that. But now this information is available to small businesses to be able to get a lay of the land, to understand like where their business is compared to others, and be able to, forecast how to make decisions for the future.
Yeah, it's so much power. It's like I I cook really well. It tastes great. I'm not winning any awards on presentation, but the food is amazing. That's what that, right? Compared to them. Okay, yours is prettier. Mine's got, exactly the same information. I want the information. I want to apply it. I'm not, I don't need the perfume and the bow. Okay. I just need, give me the hardcore data. Let's get working.
Well, what I found out was, if I gave a 50-page report about somebody's business to a business owner first, they don't got time to read that. So I use another app called Gamma app, and it takes that body of information and it will distill it down into about a 10-page executive report. And it will create a beautiful looking PDF with graphs, with images, and it will design all of it in about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So like all these different tools are coming out because of AI that are greatly going to just change how we do business, how we, go about our daily tasks. And now there's AI agents on the scene. ChatGPT just rolled out its new agent about 2 weeks ago, and it's actually like useful. It can actually do things. They came out with Operator about 6 months ago. I tried it. I had access to it, and like honestly, couldn't even buy me movie tickets. But now they were able to combine the reasoning model of O3, give it its own computer window called the terminal, and it can now go through the internet and click on things. And if I told it to, make an itinerary, I'm about to head out for my anniversary road trip with my wife. I told it things about me, what we like to eat, where we're going. It created an itinerary, and it was able to go to the checkout pages, bring that to me to like give my credit card information to like create this whole vacation. And it's only getting better from here. Like now is the dumbest as these things are ever going to be.
Yeah, it's the AI agent. Everyone's going to have their own personal assistant. And you're just going to ask, it's going to do all this stuff for you and everything. It's going to be amazing. I heard Zuckerberg saw a video and he said, everyone, he wants everyone with the glasses. It sees everything, does that. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be doing that. Okay. I'm not doing that. Okay. I like, this is really cool. I don't need it. It's bad enough I got this silly phone with me that's already listening and tracking and doing all that stuff, So I've been between going to a ghost phone and keeping the iPhone. I'm like,
Nice.
I have friends going to the ghost phone. I'm like, well, how's it? Well, it's pretty good. It's really pretty good. But there's a few things I don't know. But I'm like, well, you did. I'm glad you did it. You're an action taker. I'm sitting there going, I don't know, man. I got my business. And he goes, you can do it. because I got rid of social media on my phone and all kinds. So I don't.
Good.
I'm one of those tool, not a toy guys.
Nice.
I don't
Yeah.
do toys. I do tools. So it has to work as a tool only.
Function.
I don't play things, right? So
Yeah.
my kids, Dad, you don't have any games on your phone because Daddy don't play games.
Oh.
That's why. That's who I
Yeah.
am. I don't play any game. Yeah.
Privacy is a huge concern, and let's talk about that in a minute. I heard of this myth that the owner of Patron doesn't have email. And when I heard this, I was like, what? How can you run a business and not even like have an email? What he has is assistants that come up, whisper in his ear, and he gives them instructions, and they carry out, running the business. And so it's the good fella model, right? Like being able to have moats around you so that people come up and can actually interact with you. That's what these AI agents are going to be doing, right? It has like perfect voice capabilities to be able to talk to, explore ideas, and then go take action out on the internet for you. So we really are moving into managers of AI to be able to do what you do. And, if you're in a trade, you have, good experience. I trust that you're good at what you do. Like you're in a pretty good position. All you need to do is just learn how these things work and go manage what you are already doing using them. And you, with your experience and your eye for detail, will be able to look at what they bring you and really add a lot of value to the business to make it so like, they're not going to take your jobs. People trying to get into a business right now, all the entry level work, like that's going to have a real difficult time getting your foot in the door anymore because all that entry level work is going to be being done by AI now. So right. I don't have quite a solution with that other than become an entrepreneur, start your own business.
That's right. The true path to success. Well, I think what's important, especially with like craftsmen, my trades guys, my builders, all this stuff, I go, you do what you do. AI can't sweat pipe. We get all that. I go, but here's what I tell people, and I've said this numerous times, but who knows who's listening today. So I could do something. I could build water features. I could do steel sculpture. And I did that and became like world class. But that's what I did, because to me, I'm like, oh, I build this and they pay me. I go, oh, look, I build it even better. They pay me even more money. Wow, they pay me a lot of money for doing it. So that's what I did. That was business to me. Build it, make money. That's not business. That's building something, making money. The business is all the other 95% of the business that you don't know anything about because you started because you could do something. This is where AI helps you win. It's so you create for that from phone answering to kind of all this stuff. This is how it prepares you to scale your business, not grow it, to scale it. Big difference, right? Growth costs money, scaling basically doesn't, right? So this is what you got to get a hold of. You don't think it's like going to do what you do because it can't, right? But if you can do all this other stuff, because
better, yeah.
Listen, it's going to be better than the average person. It can do it, so it's unbelievably cost effective. It's again always shows up happy. Never has a bad day. Doesn't call in sick. Blah blah blah. But really, the whole function of that ideal function that you get to create, the exact experience you want someone to have on the phone, you can create and it's delivered 100% accurate every single time. Like, who doesn't want that? 24/7. It's not 5 o'clock they left. I mean, it doesn't matter. They can take 100 calls at a time. Okay. So you got to start looking at the simple, like, hey, ain't no one doing that. Like this is not till you have 100 calls at once coming in, but you could. So, if you get 5, we've all had, you get a call and then you got someone else trying to get through. It always comes in 2s and 3s, right? All the time. You're like, what? That's just, so now it's handled. Right? There's no stress there. And you know what that means? No one is more interested than the moment they call your business. That's when they're the most interested. And you want to let that go to voicemail? Like, just go drop a 20 in the toilet and flush. Okay? Because that's what you're just flushing money down the toilet. So like a tool like this it's unbelievable. Now we've done the numbers with the number of clients. Some are leaving $80,000 a month on the table because they're not getting the phone, in just in off hours. Like, think about these numbers, your average job cost, how many calls come in, you don't answer, maybe they get someone else, whatever that is, right? You start thinking about those kind of things going, hey, I need to figure this out, because that's like found money. Okay. That's more work for you. That's the ability. I mean, I tell people, like, if that basic math doesn't hit you, I can't help you.
You're giving me ideas. I don't make enough phone calls during the week. And, as especially as, the founder or the head team, right? Like, you're doing 100 other things.
Yep.
And to always be focusing on, putting enough coal in the engine to make sure that the thing keeps moving doesn't, come first for most people.
Right. And it's, I did a whole thing on like paid leads, right? You're buying leads, you're getting leads for roofing jobs at a roofing company and everything. And so I did the numbers. I'm like, okay, well, I call and I follow up, because the lead can come in, ding, right now. I get it, number, and I call the people, no one picks up. I'm talking, it's seconds. Okay. And they'll pick up. So I end up calling them 7 times, 8 times, 12, 14th call. I finally get someone. Okay. And I get the appointment. I go get the job because I'm the last one standing. I'm the only one who made 14 calls. Okay. So I said, well, that's cool. See, I'm better than everyone. So I'm doing that. And I'm getting 3 to 5 leads a day, 7 days a week. And all of a sudden I'm running numbers and going, I'm in like 2 or 3 months, I'm going to be making 3,500 calls a month. Me, the owner, ain't happening.
Yeah.
Right. There's
you got no time for that.
No one's going to do that. Right.
Yeah.
No one's going to do that. So what do you do? Yes. At that time it was hire virtual assistants, get a team who answers it, give them scripts. And that was great. Now I'm converting a $2,200 a month purchase for those leads into, it was an average of $127,000 I was making from doing that. That's a great ROI, because I called 12 times, 7 times, 15 times and got them. Because I tell people, Josh, I go, you think like you start to take it personal, like they don't want to talk to you. I go, people have a life, and then give you 50 reasons why they didn't call, and none of them has anything to do with you. So I'm like, and I would tell them, no one needs a roof today. Okay. It's not, they need one, but not today. Now the toilet's overflowing and you got some nasty floating on the floor. They want to talk to someone, right? Come on, take care of this. Okay. The roof's not like that. All right. So I figured all that out, and now I look at it like this is just, it's unbelievable, because.
Well, and let's explain the mechanics of it right now.
Yes.
Because the phone, the AI can actually call people now. And I've interacted with, them calling me, and the latency is what really got solved recently. Latency is how quickly it can respond back to you, where before it took, an awkward, 2 seconds for it to respond, which has made really clunky conversation. And now that latency problem is gone, to where it calls you, you pick up, it then, carries out its script, and you can say whatever you want at it, and it can adapt to what it is you're talking about. And what it's doing is qualifying you, asking you questions, do you need a new roof? Is that coming up, kind of thing? And then once you say yes, then it alerts a real human, and the real human can then jump in on the conversation to close the fine details. Right.
You're exactly right. So this is, I'm glad you said it, because, people think I just keep saying this, but the reality is just that the qualifying questions, turning a lead, meaning someone who just called, into a warm lead is really good, right? They're like, oh, they're kind of, I'm talking, I'm using AI to turn them into a hot lead, totally pre-qualified, asking all the right questions, everything else, getting down from budget to ranges, the whole thing. And so when you're showing up, it's to verify and pick up a check. I go, that's the capability. Like you said, the voice aspect, it can speak any language. You can set it for different languages, 2, 3, whatever. Like they hear that, they go to that, but really, and it learns and remembers, right? It's never going to forget what you taught it. Okay. So it gets them, and then it learns from all. So here's the key. This gets even better. Okay. I'm going to take you down this little trail. Okay. So customers are asking questions, right? They're asking whoever you call it, Lisa, hi, I'm Lisa. Okay. So they're talking to Lisa, the AI Lisa, and they're asking a question, and they give them an answer, or they search for an answer, or they pretty soon, as you know, in any business, you run out of questions. You've asked them all. You've heard every objection. to what you offer. And guess who knows all those now? Your AI agent. Okay. And now they are like, I'm telling you, it won't be long. They'll be closing the deal. You won't be getting on there. Basically going to just have it there. You might jump in just to run the card or something, but I'm saying like even that'll be gone eventually. But when you look at that and the ability to do that at 1 a.m., 5 a.m., 5 p.m., 2 p.m., whenever that is, and they're like walking through all that, I can't even do the math in my head on how much time that saves.
Because they don't sleep.
Yeah, but it's accurate every single time. They're not skipping a step, and they learn the adaptive process is what really fascinates me.
Well, and so long as it like doesn't, interrupt my flow of my day, right? It's not calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning. But it's actually, offering something of value that I actually need, right? Say I do need a roof and I just haven't had time to like, look into, Googling it and trying to find the right people and qualifying them. But if it knew because it had access to some database that, my roof got done 40 years ago and I'm due for a new one. And so it's actually helpful bringing me a solution and interacting with my day in a respectful way, then great. Oh, and I don't even have to like talk to a human or, call three ones and compare bids. Like, if it's actually useful and I'm able to just get my new roof without skipping a beat in my day, bring it.
And here's the thing on the roof thing, GAF, shingle manufacturer, right? Timberline, all that stuff. They did a national survey of all the retail clients, everything else, and asked them, found out that 48, when was this? 2017? Probably 2017. 48% of all the customers didn't want anyone coming out to their house. So a guy who created Eagle View, right, the satellite measurement, built one-click contractor. And he built a whole system via Zoom. You get out, they can go out, you can get the Eagle View, have the measurements. They can take 4 pictures of the house, you could do your siding with it, and like you do the whole deal on a Zoom call.
Cool.
Contract, DocuSign, you can close a whole deal that way. Now you have to go out and like verify layers, and that's about it. But the deal is like done. And you don't go there. Like a lot of times you're traveling 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes to go look at it. All of a sudden your 3 estimate day turned into like 9 and you're at your desk. You know what I mean? And you're talking to people and you start that flow. So this has been going on for a while. People have been moving towards this. And like you said, now that with the AI voice and how it's really, like I said, the speed of it is crazy, but these conversations are going to be seamless. And again, the knowledge they have, and they did it with doctors. Do you ever see that study? They put a real doctor and they put an AI doctor. And you got to talk about all your issues. They get done, they survey the people, which one did you like? And they pick A or B. I really like B. They were more compassionate, they had more empathy. AI smoked them, just smoked real doctors. So it's like, and I just say this because I want people to understand, like, we're just not a couple of geeks, like thinking this is really good. Like, this is legit.
This is rolling out like in the next 3 years.
Yeah, it's going to be, 3. I can't even imagine 3 years
where we're going to be. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's difficult. I had a guy, he goes, no, I only do 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't think past that because you can't, it'll be totally different, so I love it. So yeah, so we've kind of talked about an extreme business advantage, and I think we've driven that home. Don't you, Joshua?
Agreed. Yeah.
I think I'm a little excited on that. So let's kind of get into we'll kind of go into the digital privacy aspect. Like, because people are going to go like, okay, well, this is like knowing this and this, and how am I protecting my stuff? Is it reading my mail? Like, you know what I mean? Mail, like all my mail. So let's talk about that a little bit, because I know you got some insights on that as well.
Yeah. So privacy is typically the first, concern that business owners have. And it really should be, because the way that this AI works, the more information it has, the like better it does. But when it's like, gaining access to your business's, Google or, OneDrive, a lot of concerns. And I'm a huge open source advocate, meaning using software that lives on your computer and processes on your computer so that that information is not being sent to, OpenAI's cloud servers, and then who knows after that. Right now, we have these relationships with, Microsoft for our PCs, OpenAI for, ChatGPT, Apple, and we have to have this inherent trust to use their products. Now, there may be backdoors, or might be some like sketchy stuff to where like you really don't have complete privacy over your data and information. But our age, right? We've been spewing data for the last like 15 years being online. Everything, every website we've been to, everything's like tracked, and we've just been leaving this huge trail. Well, what's really changed is now there's AI to process all that information. And so the need for privacy has never been greater. And we're actually like at this kind of impasse where 2 years ago I saw what was coming with this powerful AI, and luckily some solutions have came out, and surprisingly OpenAI themselves just released an open source model that's like better than everything that they just had a week ago, and it's able to be downloaded, added to your PC. There's a smaller version that can fit on your phone. You really need powerful devices and PCs to do it currently, but it's going to get easier. And all this stuff will give you the world's knowledge locally, and you can just talk to it offline if you want it. So your information is staying private. If you're a business, you don't have to worry about sharing your ideas and wondering if that idea is going to get out there. We now have the ability to create these localized systems. So that is a huge relief that OpenAI actually like gave that to us, because there was, OpenAI was kind of a joke for the longest time, because they're going to be a profit business, but they just gave it to us, which I think from a business standpoint, they were just trying to smother their competition by just like, hey, everybody gets free AI.
And they saw the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
There's a time when it's just like the Google user experience. They're about the user experience, because if they're not, they don't have a business.
Yeah.
Right. Like no one's coming. Apple, same thing. They create their thing, and their privacy or their security is different. So I totally get that. And it's really cool to see. So to me, that's like good business. Because as they move into the profit space, or have,
we need trust with this business. Yeah,
exactly. It's a huge, for any business. I don't care if you're a carpenter or if you're an AI maker, it's the whole thing is there. And it's interesting. You talked about, the more powerful, like laptop and the phone and the power sources. The other side that I don't think people understand is the power needed to run this stuff. Google now is invested in building 3 nuclear power plants. Okay, to run AI, because they say by 2020, 2030, it'll consume as much power as our entire grid in the country. Like people are not kind of. It just seems like I do it and it's on my computer.
Yeah.
Like the power, it's really fascinating. I love it because they're getting back to nuclear.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the real solution here, and who knows, right? In the next 3 years, AI could very easily develop a whole new energy source with the rate that is going. But I think we need like 59 new mini nuclear sites in the country to keep up with the consumption of this. But I do believe it's going to this problem of AI power consumption. The problem itself is going to create its own solution.
Yeah, it's and I love that. I love that. I love quality unintentional consequences.
And I mean, I was really concerned about access to these powerful models, and because a couple of years ago didn't know which way things were going to go. We were dealing with a lot of censorship and a lot of not more choices in the future kind of thinking from a top-down standpoint. And so I was worried, which Europe kind of went this route a bit of like limiting access to these powerful models to the citizens that are there, and they're still dealing with they have very strong privacy protection in the EU, and it hurts the individual. But
so they're elitists.
Yeah,
I mean they're trying to do it here too. It's a whole algorithm censorship.
Yeah.
You know, we saw it during COVID. You saw all this stuff. Like we've seen it
right.
more than anyone even knows.
These open source models like solve all that. Because I saw the only solution was to equally give this AI to everybody on the planet, and don't limit it, because there could very easily be an elite level access to these models, a government only access to these models, and the only way to preserve freedom and choice in the future was to give it equally to everybody. And honestly, like, I want my personalized AI model on my phone, on my computer, as a defense mechanism, because the sophistication of attacks and people taking advantage of people are going to go through the roof. And I'm already like running into examples of that. And we need a personalized AI that has our back to like look out for these things.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I see it. I'll get a text. It'll be mentioned in my daughter's name, and she got this. You're like, who is this? Like, this is, and you see it and you go, that's what it is. Right. They're utilizing this stuff. And you see it in a LinkedIn message. I really appreciate when you did this. Well, okay, they read my podcast and they sort of crafted thing. You did not listen to my thing and tell me all about it. I get it, because I have an email system now that writes my responses. It categorizes everything. It writes it, and it says, here's an accept, here's a decline, like for my podcast. Super cool. Great. And I just look at it real quick and hit send. And I'd never write that in that kind of detail. And it's amazing. Like, people, it's very thoughtful. I mean, it's a really thoughtful like response. It's not super long, but it says more than I would ever take the time to write. I mean all that. It knows me. It's read all my mail. It understands how I respond from all people. And like that, I'm going, see, this is the cool stuff. This is the really
some people listening are probably going to be a little like uneasy and freaked out right now. But Sam Altman, the head of OpenAI, he himself has said, like, the key aspect of what you said right there, human oversight. You're not just letting it send out emails without you checking it before. And Sam says we'll never allow things to run automatically like that. There always needs to be that human oversight. Otherwise, it goes to Terminator land real quick.
Right. And like I said, but when you start adding up the amount of emails you get in a day, you're in business, right? Yeah. And it 150. Knows, and I've been doing this for like, how long has it been now? I think like 2 weeks, watching every day. And I'm just telling you, I'll tell you the name of it and everything. It was super cool. Like, I mean, I know the guy created it and everything else, but it's like, it categorizes, it goes through, and so you get like 4 different categories: mine's podcast, my business, whatever. And then it breaks it down, says, spam. Okay, don't worry about that one. Respond. And then it'll give you a response, or it'll write a response, and you can just, again, review it and hit send. It'll give you a taskbar on the right. Respond to this email, do this. Have you done it? Just hit check if you've done it. And you can click on the link. It'll take you right to the email. You're not looking around for it. You just click on that, right? You have all that. And then every morning it gives you a brief summary. And it comes up and goes, okay, here's this.
Now you're teasing us.
Do this, right? It's like dang, this is like awesome. You won't get notified. So even if you have your notifications on, when that's where it won't notify.
It holds it back. Yeah.
It's awesome. It's like, it's categorized. Go look at it. You don't need to be notified every time a stupid email comes in. What a waste of time. Yeah. I mean, because here's the reality that people don't know. That ding of a notification, the ding of a text
steals.
If you're doing deep work, you're into your work and just not reading it, the ding takes you out of the deep state. You can't get back in for 20 minutes. It takes you 20 minutes to get back to that deep state, all because you got a ding from some merchant, okay, trying to push sunglasses or something, right? So something completely stupid, like, just wrecked your day.
It steals your attention.
Yeah, like
literally.
That you don't get that. You don't have that privilege. Okay, like, get away from. So you just turn it off. So I'm like,
modes. Modes are important for a business owner, for anyone successful.
Yeah, that's what you said in the beginning, and you're totally right. And the point, these tools are there. Like, what you have to do, Joshua, and you're probably running this with people too, is you have to embrace this moat philosophy. You have to understand that the world will continue to turn if you don't hear a notification or answer them immediately. I did this 2009. I was into talk radio, right? I mean, I advertised on there, drop those dough because I loved it. I'm listening to it 10 hours a day. I was just angry all the time. Okay. Because that's all it is. It's just entertainment. So someone recommended, hey, why don't you try like a 90-day media fast? No media for 90 days. I went, I'll take that challenge. Haven't been back.
Nice. Because
Okay,
you can get addicted to consumption. Totally.
That's right. And I'm like 16 years. And guess what
Wow.
happened? Guess what happened?
You start creating stuff.
Whoa, the world went on without me.
Yeah.
I figured out they didn't really need my opinion. They're still doing the same. You jump back on for like 2 minutes onto those talk stations. It's the same thing. You're doing the same stuff you're doing before. Like, that was such an incredibly liberating thing. Like, there's no news in my house.
Nice.
I got 6 kids, and like they don't watch the news. No, we don't watch the news.
Yeah.
We're watching. That's all just like doom and gloom. You know, that's man's failures. That's what the news is. A friend of mine told me, he goes, the newspaper. He goes, all the newspaper until you get to the last 2 pages, the sports pages, that's man's failures. Sports pages are man's, successes. He goes, that's what I go, dude, that's really brilliant.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So it's just, but that's what these kind of tools can do for you if you embrace it, right? You got to like be okay with like being by yourself kind of thing in your mind and getting big things done. You know, if you want to get big things done, you got to get rid of these distractions because they kill you.
Totally. Yeah. I've done the same digital detoxes myself, and you just gain your like thinking facility back because even with listening to podcasts, like you said, like I'll fill space with that when I'm doing the dishes or just doing in between tasks, but I take some time off, and that's where the big ideas come from. That's where the aha moments happen.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is, I can't do the dishes and listen to a podcast. So here's the thing. And I tell people, honestly, I'm like, when I listen to a podcast, it's all I'm doing. It's like reading a book. Okay. I don't have that ability in my brain. Okay. So I am a single-minded dude, man. But guess what? Everything I do is spectacular because there's nothing. My son, though, he's something, well, no, Dad, he can compartmentalize. He can listen to a podcast, do this, and he gives me the actual breakdown of how he does it. And I'm like, dude, you are unique. Okay. Like, dude, I have a hard time. If the TV's on for something like watching a movie and my wife starts talking, I have to put it on pause. Dude, I can't have 2 inputs.
That's what happens when the captions are on. I can't stop looking at the captions.
That's right. It's just like so we all have our battles. Okay.
Yeah.
but just to kind of put a bow in all this, these tools, let's just give some final thoughts here, Joshua, I don't care how long, but so many great things we hit on, but let's kind of put this in order for people and like give them that. I just want to really give them that encouragement to embrace this stuff, especially because my primary audience is business owners. Like, you guys, come on now. It's time. Like this, again, you're still in early enough. Like, you got to get more than your toe in the water. We got to go a little deeper.
Well, it's 2025. The year's already half over. We're quickly coming around the corner for the end of it. And if you're still not using these tools yet, you need to understand this is not just another app you need to download and try out. This is revolutionary on all sectors of your life. I use it for self-discovery. I use it for research. I use it for helping with recipes. This thing will teach you how to use it. All you need to do is start playing around with it, asking it some questions, getting some preliminary information. I got a free course on just showing off all the features of it. Just understand that this tool is available. Start using it a little bit each day, and you will be ahead of the curve because only like 65% of the population is using this tool so far. So you still have time to take advantage of how powerful it is, how it can help you out with your business, how it can help you out with your own organization and your life, and be able to make space for those higher uses of your brain. Because this AI stuff's going to come in and be able to take care of all these low-level tasks that have been bombarding us for the last decade because of how much information is flying at us each day. Now, I have a 21-day ChatGPT challenge. You sign up for that, you get a prompt emailed to you every morning all you do is copy and paste and see what it can do. It could not be It could not be easier than that. It'll take 10 minutes to just see what it can do, and then you'll start noticing how applicable it is in your life through that process. Develop the habit and stop searching using Google.
That is awesome. I'll be doing that because I can't get enough. You know what I mean? Like I am all about maximizing the tool. Okay. Even from my welders to my portable bandsaw, everything I would do when I was doing all my sculpture work and everything else was like, I got these tools and I was not using them like everybody else. You know what I mean? I found these different applications for them, like to do this when people are all, no, I don't do straight lines. So I got to do things with this, plasma cutters and stuff like that. So same principle. You want to dive into it deep and you want to maximize its use. I guarantee you, it's like that's how I talk about the heavy bag when I'm working out on unboxing. It can take everything I give. It wins every day. Every day it's the victor. AI is the same thing. It can take whatever you give it. So learn the things to give it. Just get better at delivering these prompts and helping it, have it help you do what you want to do. But here's the thing, like you said, take care of these low-level tasks. This is what I see as different. It used to be low-level tasks like, hey Siri, search for whatever. That's a low-level task. This is your low level now is way up there. It's doing a lot more, I'll air quote, on a low level. It can do a lot more than like pull up a web page.
It can research like 47 different sources, find you the best price item in a couple minutes.
I'm saying this is low level stuff that would take you a long time. Not, put in the keyword. I'm talking, this is research you're going to have to do. If you want to get these answers, you don't have the time. So it's really fascinating. And this is what I mean by its growth and its intelligence and its ability to learn. It's doing so much more. And again, calling it a low level, it used to be a very high level. Okay, research. Who was a researcher? Okay, back in the day? Nobody. Okay, they were educated, PhD, master in a lab, whatever, researching. Writing books that are like 900 pages. Okay, now you're like, put in the prompt. And your research, you got the same power that took those people, months and years. So super exciting if you can't tell. So how do they get your free course? Get in touch with you, follow you, Joshua. Let's do the important stuff now.
Yeah, you can go to my website, joshuahale.io. I have lots of trainings. I have my 21-day ChatGPT challenge. I'm working on this big course called Beyond the Matrix, where I'm creating AI custom GPTs that will teach you the material itself, so you don't have to hear me, blab my mouth off for hours. But this is revolutionizing how we learn, how we get things done. And, I got a lot of offerings on my website. So go to joshuahale.io and I'd love to help you out.
No, I love it. Joshua, I so appreciate you coming on. I was really keyed up for this, probably more keyed up than I should be, but I'm excitable about these kind of things. So these are always just astounding conversations, man. You brought so much value to the show, to the listeners, man. I thank you so much. And everyone, just connect with Joshua, get into this stuff, man. It'll change your business for the better, and you can thank me later. Okay? Because that's what I tell my kids. Thank me later. I know you hate me right now, but you can thank me later. All right. You'll love it. So with all that being said, everybody else, we'll see you on the next STS podcast. Thanks for tuning in to Sharpen the Spear podcast. If today's episode helped you think sharper, act smarter, or see new profit potential, do me a favor. Share it with a fellow home service owner and leave a quick review. Ready to find the profit hiding in your business? Head to sharpenthespearcoaching.com and book your free profit discovery call today. And until next time, keep sharpening.